Welcome to our webcast tonight. I would like to tell you a story about my first experiences way back in the late 90s. I was searching for a better way to deal with relationship-based conflict, better than litigation or mediation, in a way that was healing and restorative rather than punitive. And so in the process of this search, I was invited to observe a sentencing circle of a youth who had already been convicted of arson. He had gone out on a boat while he was still high under some influence of drugs or alcohol, landed on a deserted island, found an old house that he proceeded to set fire to, and left the inhabitant of this house, an old man, homeless. And so he was convicted at trial of arson. I was invited to observe the sentencing circle of this young adolescent. Imagine in a high school gym in Haines Junction in the Yukon, the foothills of the mountains up there. There were 18 people sitting in a circle. The judge, as well as the young man, as well as the older man who was left homeless. They were using a sacred eagle feather to pass around the circle. And the judge basically said to them, if you all here tonight come up with a better plan, I will definitely consider it. Otherwise, I would normally sentence this young man to something between 6 and 8 years in jail. So the eagle feather passed around and around, and various people made various comments about what should happen and how things should go ahead. The young man continued to stay silent for many rounds of the circle, until finally at some point he held it and said, I actually am terribly sorry. I regret the harm that I've caused, and I wish I knew what I could do about it, but I really don't know what I can do about it. I'm very handy, but I don't have money for materials. I don't have a way to get to this island to do any building. I don't have the tools. He just held his hands up and passed the talking piece. The feather went around the circle once. And in that one round of the circle, different participants, community members, offered to lend him money, to lend him tools, to accompany him to the site. And within one round of the circle, there was a plan in place to rebuild this man's house. So of course the judge said, okay, your sentence is going to be rebuild this house. The textbooks will tell you that Judge Barry Stewart, the judge in that case, is the first judge who has ever used a circle for sentencing purposes after conviction at trial. What the textbooks won't tell you is that when Judge Stewart left the bench, there was one person left in jail. And that's actually Peacebuilders' goals. Let's empty the jails of adolescents that don't belong in there, and let's get them back to school.